world is yours, nigga. Every day is a win, nigga. Even when you lose, it's a lesson, eh?
All right. On today's episode of Brahamid Speaks, everybody wants more money, but nobody really understands why they stay broke. So today, we're talking about it. This is Brahamid Speaks, game passed down, and I'm trying to figure out why people can make money and still have nothing to show for it. Let's get into it. All right, Pop. Why do people stay broke even when they're making money?
Well, it starts out, first of all, because you started out broke. When you left the home, you didn't have any money. You had to start from scratch. That was your mama's money or your daddy's money. So you're already starting out behind. And then when you start making money, you start spending that little bit of money that you get, because you're not going to make a lot at 18, 25. You're not going to make too much. You can grow somewhere. If you keep moving from job to job, you're not going to make that much money. You got to know that it's a lifetime plan, 60-year-old. You got to look at it as your future with money. The future needs to be set up just in case we survive. That's all I'm saying. Just in case you survive to be 60, you should have had a little plan for that guy again. I'm going back to that guy. And they stay broke because, again, we spend too much money on stuff we don't need. Why are you buying a European car and you don't have the money and you don't have the space to actually put that car? Somebody could come and steal that from you. You need a key for a BMW. You're paying twice the amount instead of you should have went American. It's a lot of reasons why people go broke, but the main reason is they spend more than they make. You're already poor. So if you were born into poverty, 99.9999% of the time, you're going to end up in poverty because you don't know how money works.
So it's not about more so how much you make, it's about how you think.
Yeah, it's about how you think. And again, I feel sorry for the one of that age getting out the house, because they haven't learned anything. The parents we just don't teach each other anything about how this society worked, then the American society. Since I live here, I'm going to speak about the American society. It will suck you in. It entices you with so many stuff that you just don't even know where the money goes, but you won't calculate it. So you know where it goes. We know where it goes, but people just don't calculate and get a pen and paper. We have the phone where you can log how much money you have spent for the day, for the week, or so on. But it won't do it. People are, again, we're in that same cycle that has always been here. People are just blowing in the wind.
So do you think it's because people think if they would just make more money, they'll be straight? Or do you think it's just they weren't taught these things?
No, more money bring more problems. See, it's not about the money. It's about how can you secure yourself with that money. People don't want to secure themselves with the money. They want to spend it. How are you ever going to ever feel relaxed when you have nothing in the bank account? Nothing. Come on. Really? You're not going to think about that side? Rainy days come, my friend. They didn't know the tornado was going to hit them this month. TSA workers didn't know that they were going to shut it down. Well, they should know, so they should be the main one to fucking save some fucking money. Come on. I'm being fucking serious right here. Not when you really need it. Sometimes you have to wait too, even when you have money. It's called a security mindset, which most people call cheap, okay? But it's really a security mindset. You're trying to secure or delay for when something tragic happened that you can come forth. If it's something minor, you could get through it, but people don't want to get through the hard times. And oh, my friends, it is coming for y'all. It is coming. This is only the beginning. It's coming. I'm telling you. You haven't seen nothing yet.
So, what's the biggest mistake people make with money right now, in your opinion?
Well, the mistakes have been made a long time ago, a long time ago. So it's not of today. Most people in this world are behind. Why? Because they introduce credit. You're borrowing money. What is that telling you? They're giving you $2,000. They're giving you $2,000. You're behind because you got to pay that shit back.
Well, the credit system is really a setup. It really is a setup because the money that you're borrowing is fictitious. Yeah, it's fictitious. So basically, it would be a setup. You know. But I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Do you feel like some of the holidays or some of the things that we see on TV, do you feel like we're engineered to spend?
Of course we're engineered to spend. You said holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Smart. They are smart. You will get tricked in this country because there are some smart motherfuckers out here. And it happens to anybody from anywhere by the 4th generation. The American system will always take over and you're going to spend.
Mm-hmm.
Only the ones that keep the same discipline from generation to generation. You're not supposed to slack up on that discipline with the next generation, but they do. We all do it for some reason. And we get caught up into all these holidays and celebration. And so you spend New Year's. You start off spending in the beginning of the year. You go off in New Year's, then Valentine's Day. They telling you when to love somebody, when to like somebody. And it keeps going on and on. President, then Super Bowl. Then there's always some fun going on where you're going to be spending your damn money. So you can't win. Remember, you started out behind when you first left the house. And you never really, we always ask for minimum wage. When are we going to ask for maximum wage? I mean, come on. So you stay in the same bracket. If you are born poor, I'm sorry, people. If you're born poor, most likely you're going to end up poor. And your kids are going to end up poor. It's just the way it is. But so we live in the greatest country ever, still.
You don't believe that you can build yourself up by your bootstraps, as they say in America?
You can build yourself up by your bootstrap. You sure can in America. But the majority of people have too much distraction and too much shit going on. And again, if you weren't taught in the home by someone of what you're going to encounter, how to do this, how to do that. They used to pass on the trade to their children. If mama knew how to cook, daughters knew how to cook. If daddy knew how to build, sons knew how to build. You feel me? But none of that is going on. No one is teaching nothing at home. We go to school to learn our little brainwash education, as Bob would say.
So do you feel the educational system did us a disservice or a service in the black community?
It did us a service because you have to, education in America, it's a good thing because it's in America. But you have to be able to pick the right trade, the right things when you go to these colleges. You don't just pick something just because. You're supposed to be researching. Your parents are supposed to go and research with you. And like the ones that pass on those generation and generation, they tell you what industry to go in that's going to pay your ass. You don't just graduate high school and that's it.
Well, the reason I say that is because to piggyback off what you said earlier about you were supposed to be taught a trade by your parents or something.
Okay.
And I feel like if you are taught a trade by your family, you wouldn't need it. Like, so I do feel like the educational system was a setup. It wasn't designed to really build you into a businessman. You have to learn business from getting a mentor.
Well, yeah,
you know that's like you can learn the basics in school, but like to really get the grit of business, you want to get up under a mentor, somebody who actually owns a business, so you can see how this shit works. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like with your children and stuff like that, you have to teach them something, some type of like, hey, this is your trade now. Like look at most, not to speak, but most Jewish people. People give the Jewish people a bad name, but the Jewish people are successful because they train their children from young how to understand money, understand business. Like they understand it from the ground up, from young. When the bat mitzvah come, they giving them money to show them you have to be responsible with money. You know, so I feel like our community was once like that, once upon a time, but we've lost our way. You know what I mean? So this is my opinion. What does a man actually need to feel stable?
He needs to be stable. It takes a while to become stable. It really do. And again, you're gonna have distractions. That's why it's so hard to become stable. It takes that man a while. Again, he's leaving home. He doesn't know really what's going on. He probably wasn't taught too much of what to do or what he's gonna encounter out there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take time. It takes some time. By the time he is 30, though, I believe if he could be stable, that's 10, 12 years, I would say, of him trying to build himself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He should be stable right around his 30th birthday. But we know that's not the way life really works, because our 20s is for us to have fun in. That's when I was the wildest. That's when I had the most energy. That's when I was excited about everything. But not the things that I was supposed to be excited about. It was about life. I was excited about life being a young man. In my 20s? Come on, man. You blow those years. It's just the way it is. Again, if you don't have that strong upbringing and a foundation and a goal of where you want to go in your later years, your 20s is wasted. And it's normal too, because it's been going on forever. Your 20s, most people just blow through it, having fun.
So to piggyback off of that, do you not feel that your 20s is the time that you should be building?
Again, you should. You should be building. But your hormones are all up and shit. Remember what I said, you have the energy now. You have the energy, but this is why I say too, you're supposed to be working, trying to get an income, starting a business, whatever it is you're going to do. But most likely, come on, we have to be honest here. The majority of humans are always going to work more than be entrepreneurs. It's just been proven. It's only a 20% people who are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Or 30 for that matter, but it's not 50-50. So we know the majority of human beings, the majority of men and women are going to end up at a job. So why I say, now that I have said that, you have to encounter in now how you're going to maneuver through earning through a job. You know what I mean? So now from there, now what's coming in, how is it going out? And every little thing that happens to you, whether you call it, most of the time it's going to seem like a mistake because you weren't ready for it. Most of the time it's going to seem like a mistake. Kids, having a child, getting fired from a job, you're going to feel like it's and every time something happens to us, we get into a fucking depression. That's why I say when you're young, but in your 30s, you're just not going to do it. You're just not going to be thinking about all of that if nobody tried to talk to you about money and you're supposed to be this kind of guy. And we just don't do it. We go through our 20s just blowing it.
Yeah, that's true. So I want to ask you this. How much is enough money to feel secure? Like yearly? How much did you make yearly, monthly? How much did you have in the bank? What is a good amount of money? And what is a good time? You know what I'm saying? Like say if you're in your 20s and you grind in your 20s, how much by like say 35 you should have accumulated? Or at least hell by 40 you should have put up in the bank. You know, is there a good number for you to say, okay, I'm secure, I'm good?
Well, I've always went on the if you don't have 1,000 your age, like if you're 25, you're supposed to have $25,000.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way. You're 25 years old and you don't even have $25,000? somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm making it easy on the people who are workers. I'm not trying to sell you this dream about entrepreneurship and you should go out there and you really think you're going to become this rich guy. That's not what I'm selling you on, people. You have to learn to be comfortable in your own skin, because they will sell you pipe dreams. I'm not here to sell you pipe dreams about you're going to be rich and you should get out there and try to just be big. No, get out there and try to make sure that you get secured with your finance. Again, the 4 pillars, your finance, because it's going to include romance. Your relationships include everybody in your family. Your spirituality. You just have to get involved in these little things. And the last one is, I'm forgetting it, but it's going to come to me. Yeah, your physical self, your physical being, your health, the way you eat, the way you run. You're going to have to, lock in the regular folk. I'm talking to you as a regular guy, but you have to have the amount at least of your age. At least. That's $1,000 a year. Well, you're starting from behind. Remember, 18, so 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So now, from the time you're 18 to 25, that's 7 years. You have to try to build up to try to get to 25,000. That should be a goal.
Now, I want to ask you this. If they do build that, say if they did build that, should they have been putting that money in the bank, or should they be putting it in some type of Roth IRA? I'm saying it wrong. Roth IRA. Or like a money market account, or is this something that, should they be trying to grow that money as they go along, or is it just like put up 30,000?
No, you should have it spread around, right? Again, I'm talking to the common people, man. I am trying to talk to the common folk that are just going to be basic people, the regular folk, which is the majority. Okay, most people are regular. I'm talking to those people.
Okay.
You could expand after on the next question. I can expand on it, but I'm going to answer that question. You should be trying to put it into things that you know to put it in, which is what I'm saying. Most people have a savings. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking fact. Most people they think about it, but they're afraid of the market. I'm not saying for them to be. I'm not telling you to be afraid. I don't give financial advice like that. I'm just trying to tell you from the question. If you could spread it around and have $25,000 when you're 25, sweet. But I'm saying at least, if you don't have it spread all around, can you at least have $25,000 in your just regular old bank account? Would that still be bad? Would you still feel weird that you only have $25,000 in your bank account? Would you feel weird right now if you have $25,000 on your regular bank account?
I would not feel weird at all.
Exactly. How would you feel?
I feel good.
You can make move. You want to always feel like you can make move, whether you're going to make the move or not. Okay? I used to go shopping because I used to put money aside for this. I used to go shopping every summer, and I put $300, and I was going to go blow that $300 because I worked for it to put that $300 to go blow it. But I didn't just go squander it like that, because I said I want to go out and ball out. I didn't do it every year. This was just one year I wanted to do something like that, because I seen other people in the mall walking around with all these bags, and I was like, I'm going to do that shit. Blowing money, blowing it. The biggest purchase I ever made, and I'm going to call myself what I'm going to call all you motherfuckers, the biggest purchase I ever make, and I'm going to call myself a name that I call everybody else, dumbass I ever made, was I bought a leather jacket, the same jacket that Eddie Murphy wore in Coming to America. I went and bought something similar to that. $756, or I would cry today. Okay, because I know I would never make that purchase. After that, I never made a purchase like that. So, no. Put your money aside, however you can.
Well, I'll say on that. Well, that adds on to my next question. What did you do wrong with money? If you care to.
Oh, yeah, I spent it. I told you I was traveling. People think it's free. It was free to fly, but it's not free to have fun. You gotta pay. You're gonna pay to have fun, okay? You're going to pay to have fun. And I had fucking fun. I had fun. I don't tell my stories like that. I'm just coming out of the woodwork. I was a person that just don't share the stories the lifestyle that I've experienced. And I didn't work hard. I didn't work hard or kill myself. Hell no, I'm gonna have fun. But at the same time, I remembered that the guy's gonna get old. Hey, you gonna get old, bro. It's coming for you, and I'm okay with that, because it's just a cycle. So everybody got to remember. You got to remember, only if you live long enough, you're gonna get old.
Why do people repeat the same mistakes over and over?
Human nature. It has nothing that we're dealing with today, bro. The way humans act. And again, I can only say this because I have seen it with my own 2 eyes. Actually 3, because I'm very insightful. So the reason why is life just take over. Life take over. The things the unexpected, that's life. Mm-hmm. Life is the unexpected thing that you didn't know is going to throw a monkey wrench in your life. Your car broke down. You wanting to buy a new car. These are things that could throw a monkey wrench. You could go buy the car and brand new, and shit could happen. And you know what I mean? It's just people just don't have the discipline to continue on. They always fall off that horse and never get back on. It's hard to start. It's hard to rebuild. It's hard to continue. So most people stay basic, regular old folk that's just walking through this life and knowing that one day it's gonna come to an end. But they don't know when. Again, they just don't know when. But most people just walk through this life. I'm hoping that they're enjoying it in this mind here and in this heart here. I hope they're enjoying it there at least, because that's all we ask of you. I'm not asking you to like me. I'm not asking you to even care for me. I'm just saying, just don't bother me then. And again, I've never had that problem, so I don't ever worry about shit.
Mm-hmm. How does time play into money? Because it seems like it's so fast. Again, our brain is not that fast to catch on. I have this saying that you're born not knowing anything, and then you get to know where you know a little something, and then you get educated, and by the time you get educated, it's time for you to go. So you really can't fix it now, because it's that time for you to be out of here. So we just don't have the time. We don't have enough time. We do, but we're gonna squander some of those years. We just gonna squander it. We're gonna have to deal with other people's shit. That relationship shit, you got to be careful with that too, because relationship too will take over your time. Your job will take over your time, your business. So to put them both together, you have to, that foundational block, those 4 things I talk about, the financial thing, it starts from the time you start earning. It starts from the time you start praising the Lord. It's time from the time you start keeping that physique up, keeping that heart pumping right. It starts a long time ago, but we can't think about it. It's until it's like almost too late. People only react when it's almost too late. Then they want to start to do it. That's not the way life works. You got to start early, but we're not taught these things. All right. So do you feel time is more important than money?
They go hand in hand. Time when you're young, money when you're old. So they have to blend in with each other. One is going to cross each other. They're going to cross each other if you do it right, though. If you do it right. And again, you don't need a lot of money to really survive. To live this American dream, yes, you're going to need a lot of money.
So to survive into old age, what is a dollar amount you think most young people should be saving yearly?
Young people should be saving yearly. Like I said, if you can't even save $1,000 for your damn self, is what I'm saying. If you can't
I'm saying,
save,
but for the people who can save that,
who can save what?
who
Like,
can save $1,000 for the year.
Mhm.
But I'm saying, like, if they already mastered that muscle, that's the muscle you're really doing.
yeah, exactly.
So once they develop that muscle, the next step to that would be, all right, how much would I need for retirement? You know, and if I'm saving towards that, what would be a number? But maybe that's something I think that person would have to ask themselves.
Well, I could answer it for them. You're gonna have to try to get cut out or cut down on all your vices. Cut out or cut down on all your vices as you're aging. Also, you're gonna have to make sure that you are living a simple life at this point.
Okay.
Because remember, we spend so much money on things, again, we never really need, but because addiction is one of them. You know, you wanting to go out. Oh shit. Excuse that, brothers. Excuse that, you know. So it's gonna hit them all individual where they live, what they bought before they get older, where they're living as they get older. And remember, we don't have control over that either though. So just live your life is all I be trying to tell people. Just live it when you're in your healthiest state the best you can, because we're gonna go down. If you live long enough, you're going to have to face the maker. The reaper is always going to be waiting for us. So that's what I'm saying. Enjoy life while it's happening. That's all I'm trying to tell you. It could get better if you have something, a little backup plan.
I feel you, man. If someone is broke right now, what should they do first?
If they're able-bodied, you mean if they're able-bodied?
Able-bodied.
Oh, they need to go out there right now and lock in for a year. Again, I can't preach this entrepreneur shit. I get it, but you need money. Really, you're gonna need that comfort money on the side. So you need to get yourself out there, get some work, and while you're not gonna sleep right now with what I'm gonna say. Your sleep is gonna be so disrupted right now if you're trying to get out of this. Okay. You're going to have to get a job and then find out what you really want to do that makes money, something that's going to make you money, an accountant, a lawyer, the high shit, the shit that's going to pay you big if that's what you want. If you want to live this lavish lifestyle, bro, you got to go into the industry that pays lavish. You can't think that you're just gonna ease through it. It's not easy. Life is not easy, especially if you're starting from behind. So you're gonna have to get into the industries that pay, or lock into a job, learn a trade, and transition from that job into the trade. And then when you transition from that trade, you could see if you could start your own business or however you want to do it. But you have to start locking in. Money needs to keep coming in consistently. Big money, not little money here, then small money, then big money, then small money. You need a $2,000 a week. A week, it needs to come in, or $1,000 a week, but it needs to come, a high amount needs to come in, or more, because you're putting in the hours. You're not going to sleep if you're trying to get out of this, because if not, most people are not going to get out of it.
So you would need like at least 2-3 jobs.
No, you just need one job. You need, in California right now, you would need one job right now.
In this economy?
In this economy, you need one job. You need to make sure that you're working. You're trying to build yourself out. Remember, you have to start in any economy. I don't know why people think that the economy wasn't bad. And let's see, I graduated high school in 87, and I tried to get my first apartment in 1988. Okay, I'm gonna give you my pay, my minimum wage of 1988. You ready?
Yeah.
It was $5.50 an hour.
$5.50.
Ugh. So we never had
$5.50.
It was $5.50 an hour, nigga. Ask niggas from the 70s what they pay was. $3.60.
Yeah, something like
Nigga, get the fuck out of here. We were never able to fucking come up. It's not set up for you to come up like that. Unless you're willing to go in there and sacrifice. It's going to take a sacrifice for you to become rich. And most people, I'm sorry to say this, folks, but most people just don't have the fucking balls to do it. So, since you're going to live this mediocre life, at least make it a little pleasant, what would you not do with $25,000 right now? How would you not feel? At least, I'm saying it ain't much. I ain't talking like it's a lot. That ain't a lot. You can blow through that in a month or less. You can blow through that in a month or less. But I'm just saying, if you had that just sitting in there, and now you could scheme now with all of, you could see what you could come up with now. You could see what business you could buy now.
Yeah.
If you had $25,000 is what I'm saying. Now you could play. I said it's there for if you want to play or you don't want to play. You want to be the square, then it's okay. Be the square with $25,000. Or you could want to be and invest a little 5 G's of that. But what exactly?
Yeah, I feel that one. Last question. What's the difference between a broke mindset and a stable mindset?
A stable mindset is that you're consistent with your lifestyle. Broke is not just money. It's a big part of it, but broke is not just money.
It's mentality.
Yeah, broke is not just, broke is the 4 pillars like I told you. You have to have something that you believe in, that you think can sustain you. That's why most people go to church. You have to believe that your inside again, your physical self was a gift from that same person that you're supposed to believe in. You see what I'm saying? So you got to take care of it and protect it the best you can. God knows that we're going to do the vices down here, but he's saying, nigga, come on. You don't have to be killing yourself with that shit. But anyway, so then, again, the relationship. You have to make sure that you connect. It don't have to be every day, all day, but when you do, be available. Be present. Don't be somewhere else. Again, I'm going on that fucking phone. I can't stand it. I'm not going to lie. I'm one of them niggas that don't like the cell phone. But I see its benefits. But anyway, so you understand? Your finance, you're going to have to make sure that you correct that before you include somebody in your life. It's best if you do. I mean, you could do it while you're trying to meet people, but this is where the minimalists come in. I dated a lot, but I didn't need to spend a lot of money when I dated these women. You know what I mean? Because I knew that I'm going to have multiple people I'm interested in, but that doesn't mean that we're going to go places where I'm going to squander my money on this person, or squander my money on stuff. The Air Jordans, I only bought year 1 and year 2. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm not doing that. That money, I could save that money. I'm not buying no more Jordans. I'm not buying no sound system for my car. I was the minimalist. You know what I'm saying? Am I rich? Hell no, I'm not even rich. Could I have been rich? Nah. I want to have too much damn fun. That was more important to me. I have stories to tell. I have stories to tell. And that's how I'm going to go down. My kids know my stories because they were fun stuff, but I got caught up into a whole bunch of stuff. I got my Jeep slashed up. This is what I'm saying. Shit can happen to you. Shit can happen to you that can change everything. So don't believe this shit that you're going to just be able to just blow up like that. But I'm not saying you can't, but it's going to take a lot out of your ass. Are you willing to not sleep? And so you could get on the grind, so you could show us what you're made of? Most likely, no. Most people are just too lazy. And it's going to always be that way. It's been that way then, it's that way now, and it's going to always be that way. 20% is going to make it. It's always been 20% who are the top dog.
Is there any last words of encouragement you want to give the people, or let them know, whatever you feel?
Yeah, I mean, look, it boils down to this. It's a life that is short, really. It's short because it comes a time where you didn't know nothing. Again, I have to go back to this. You didn't know nothing. You were raised from a baby to when you started to learn a little thing. And then when they were supposed to teach you something, they really couldn't teach you nothing because they didn't learn nothing. So you only got the basics. So then when you finally get out into the world, not knowing nothing, you're starting to learn something now. And then your life actually gets cut short when you can't remember things and you start getting these Alzheimer's and you're sitting there and you're just getting old. You're just a person just getting old. I've seen it. I've seen my mom went from this vibrant person to my dad, this vibrant person to where then death is just waiting for them. So you get a good 30, 35 years, 40 if you're taking care of yourself. But the regular old human being who ain't trying to do shit with their true self, you get about 30 years, 30 good years. And just enjoy it though. That's it. Enjoy it. Mind and heart. Just enjoy that part about it. Enjoy that you're here.
Feel that. Well, that's Brahamid Speaks. If you broke right now, this ain't to shame you. This is to wake you up. Apply something from this. We'll be back. All right, you guys. We out.
Yeah. Yeah. The world is yours, nigga. Every day is a win, nigga. Even when you lose, it's a lesson.